Thank you for taking part in the USIP and Inspired Classroom Challenge. As I mentioned during the live event, my name is Allison Sturma, and I'm on the public education team here at the United States Institute of Peace. While I was at Bozeman High School in Montana for the live event day itself, I'm recording this from USIP's headquarters in Washington, D.C. All of us here at the Institute are excited to be a resource for you as you work to identify positive stories of peace building around the world and think about how to elevate those stories in your own communities. The purpose of the live event day was to help bring our work to life, and participants had a great opportunity to learn something interesting about the work that USIP is doing in Pakistan, Iraq, Tunisia, or Nigeria to prevent and resolve violent conflict and build peace. To help you reflect on your live event day conversation, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Yusuf to share some thoughts and ask a few questions to help you think about what you heard and how that might help you throughout the USIP and Inspired Classroom Challenge.
Thanks, Allison. I'm excited to be here and help you all reflect on what you heard during the live event day. I'm going to pose 3 core questions. After each of them, there will be an opportunity to pause the video and think about what I'm asking. The USIP and Inspired Classroom Challenge gives you an opportunity and a framework to develop an awareness campaign about a peace-building initiative happening around the world. During the live event with the USIP expert, you might have been struck by a particular story they shared. As you develop your awareness campaign, you might also want to think about what real stories you can share. Hearing the stories of people whose lives have been directly affected by violent conflict can help your audience connect with those people and answer the question, why should I care? When you then show how those individuals have decided to work for peace, you help make clear how peace building is possible, practical, and a process. So, what was one story example that really struck you from what you heard our guest speaker say? As described in step 1 of this challenge, peace building can encompass a wide variety of activities and approaches. Through the concrete examples you just heard today, you now have a better sense of what peace building can look like in practice. You might have noticed that some initiatives are top-down, meaning that they work mostly at the government level, while other initiatives are bottom-up, meaning that they work mostly with everyday citizens. As you design your awareness campaign, you can decide which kind of initiative you most want to focus on and share. So, what initiatives did you hear about, and how are these initiatives building peace? Were you surprised to learn about the examples of peace building from this country? Too often, all we hear about in the news are stories of war and violence, especially from countries where USIP works. But in each of these countries, there are people working for peace. As you develop your awareness campaign, you might want to think about why it's important for people to hear these peace-building stories from around the world. What difference does it make to us personally and to those living in those countries? You might have also heard some things that connect with your community or that connect with you as an individual. How can identifying those connections or commonalities help in your awareness campaign? So, how did this speaker shift your perspective on the country they discussed? And why does this matter?
Thank you, Yusuf, for sharing those questions, which I am sure will help everyone as they get started on the USIP and Inspired Classroom Challenge. Whether you spoke to Anand in Pakistan, Osama in Iraq, Leo in Tunisia, or Tefa in Nigeria, I hope you learned that peace is possible, practical, and essential. It is something that requires action, and it takes all of us working together. Thank you for tuning in to our first live event day, and I look forward to tracking your progress throughout the USIP and Inspired Classroom Challenge. And if you need anything along the way, be sure to let us know.